What?
Whoop! There it goes.
Please,
It's
no
out.
dicks on my stream. It's
Ha
illegal.
ha
I'm
ha!
sorry.
That's
Sorry,
highly
it's out.
illegal.
Sorry, it's
I'm
out.
sorry.
It's out and it's over.
I'm sorry.
I love how.
Yamete! Yamete!
Gotta send this to our good pal, whose name is Frey on this stupid can't thing, even though she goes by Sirius. What the fuck? Hey!
Where'd I put my
shit,
shit?
I already have 2 viewers. What the fuck are you people doing here?
I know, right? What the fuck?
I linked this in places and people showed up. According to this. Alright. Do you guys have your D6s?
I have mine. I am prepared for this adventure. Let me put on my little,
Give me a hot second.
adventuring cap.
Cap.
Don't be a baby.
What are you gasping about?
My friend posted birds.
Fucking.
And I'm
birds
so
are good.
beautifully excited for this game. Look, you got one too, Matt.
What?
You gotta gasp. You don't have to feel bad
Oh, cool. Thanks.
about your
that,
lackluster game.
We're really setting up. I should turn off my light so that I can set up the oh god, the slightest shred of fucking
Mood.
atmosphere up in this bitch.
Right. What are you doing? God.
You bitch.
Yeah, that's what Matt is.
No, that's what you are.
Oh god.
No, I'm pretty.
Whoa!
Oh,
How dare
that's
you
what I
patronize
did
our
here.
DM?
I
It's my
accidentally
job.
hit my okay, I need to tab over there. Okay. I accidentally hit my my hotkey for making the the straw polls at the end of the downpour campaigns. So
no.
it put Elian's name at the end of my title. My go live notification became Fleur. All of that shit, everything got ruined forever.
It's all perfectly my fault. Thank you.
No, it was my fault because I was trying to move shit out of my way, and because I want to turn the light off. Oh, God.
How many D6s do we need? Because I'm pulling out every D6 that I own.
You need 2
Oh, okay.
D6.
I have 4 out already. I was ready to get out another 2.
That's so many more than you need.
Yeah.
I have my 10 just in case the 2 that I have selected for Gary go bad.
So you're saying it in case I kill off Gary,
No,
Can
I
I
mean
just
until
which I
roll
will.
a d12 and divide by 2?
No, you
No.
can't. I rolled a 1/2.
Listen, when I round up to the nearest whole number.
Wait, why would you divide by 2?
Will you roll a d12? Hello?
Yeah. Are you rolling 2d12 and dividing each by 2? You only need 1d12. And by 1d12, I mean no d12s.
I feel like most people could be like, I need Monopoly dice.
Fucking Jesus.
I've got my shit together, Matt.
Everybody say hi to Stram. Stram's the only
Welcome,
one here.
Stram.
Hello!
Oh, I want to see the spook image.
It's pretty spooky.
Man, this made me so happy. I went to go check on somebody's, like, because there was a post, like, their Patreon or whatever, because they were just like, man, I'm not doing so hot. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna check out their Patreon. And now they're making, like, $900 a month because people like their art. But they were, like, alone in the mountains in Japan. And they were just like, I'm going fucking crazy and I want to live by a city, but I'm poor.
Wow.
And they do pixel art. Anyways, game.
Yeah. Is everybody ready?
I'm in, Matt. I'm in the fantasy. I'm there.
You should.
I shouldn't be in the fantasy. I
nope,
should be.
Get out of the fantasy. Because we're in modern day, motherfucker.
Oh God, it's not fantasy. It's real.
Yeah. This
I'm
is
in the, like, semi-modern day setting.
The plot twist at the end of this campaign is that fucking... It's like
Matt
Ender's
has
Game.
kidnapped 11 people and forced them through a horrible situation.
Yeah, it's
to
like no, it's like Ender's
Stop
Game. You're just magically controlling people from like afar.
These poor motherfuckers.
Spoiler alert.
The end
for
game
Ender's
is just
Game,
that we
I
all
guess.
move into.
That novel's like 30 years old and whatever.
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite novels. I know Orson Scott Card is a cunt, but like,
Yeah, no,
hot
he's
damn,
a cunt,
he does
but,
some
like,
good writing.
He made he did
He
a
wrote
good book.
good once,
He
and then
wrote
the
a
two
good book,
afterward.
and all of the other ones were terrible.
Guys,
Hey,
you want to go save
listen.
George Washington to rescue the world from aliens? And
His Pathfinder series was really good.
really,
I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
fuck yeah. I read
I read all
that
the
one.
books, but they're like 800 pages.
Okay,
Nah.
we're getting very off track here.
That's you, man.
Let's start.
All right. So everyone's ready. Everyone has their D6.
I'm in the fantasy.
Yes.
I'm in the dice.
I'm in the dice. Help me. I can't get it.
Please.
I'm in this cube.
All right.
I've been cubed.
You've been domed. I hate my brain so much.
Breathe. You'll get through it.
Okay. Oh god, I have so many notifications on my fucking phone. I'm trying to get to my notes. No, I don't want my recipe for fucking vinaigrette.
Mm. You never know when you need a tasty vinaigrette.
I always
Just need
know
to-
when I do, and it's always.
Douses
Me?
myself in a tasty vinaigrette. Let's go.
It's so,
Me.
Dousing
It's
yourself.
such a good recipe. It's like it's vinegar and like sesame oil, and then like fucking cayenne pepper and honey and mustard. It's real good.
Opens a bottle of red wine.
Balsamic.
Vinaigrette.
Fucking gift, my dude.
Yeah,
Hi.
I made that.
Hell yeah.
It's really
Hell
really
yeah.
good. Credit to where credit is due. This motherfucker. Hi,
Oh.
Imagine Kaijus. I'm assuming that's
That's serious.
Cool.
That's
Yes.
serious.
Hey, serious?
I was gonna like greet you like, hey, you're a new person. You're not. I don't care about you.
Wow.
Got him.
Shinji, do you have like a Twitter or something I can plug where people can find your cool art things? Since you
I guess.
made this.
I'll give you my main Twitter that I don't use.
Cool. That
Or maybe I'll
ought
just-
to be
yeah.
useful for people to find
Yeah.
you.
Shinji, you're such a bitch. Oh, I need my notes. Fuck. Bitch, where's my journal? Oh, God.
Notes. Have you been taking notes before the campaign started?
I've been describing how my character lives his life. Yes.
All right, cool.
I'd sent you in DMs, Matt.
All right.
I do need a little bit of light. I was like,
I
I'm gonna play
don't
this
know
game.
why you DM'd this to me. I'm just gonna post it in chat.
Yeah, well,
Hey, you guys, if you want to do it, it's in the chat. If you want to find it, it's in the VOD in the chat at like minute 9. And you would know this because you're listening to it now. I'm so helpful. I'm good at Twitch, guys.
You're so good at Twitch,
I'm
dude.
very
Like
good
the
at Twitch.
best. Where the fuck?
yeah,
is
Zink does sure have that sweet
Zink
moleskins.
sure got that good moleskins.
Okay.
All right.
So we've given up on Hal, and
Have you got your
I've-
moleskin, Zin?
My moleskin?
Your
How was he
journal,
even
you
a
dumb bitch.
Yes, I
peeled
have my
Sky
thing.
off Hal's driveway and threw her in the back car.
Okay,
All right.
I'm good to go.
It's time to go.
All right. So, we open on a scene. A couple sitting in their bedroom, getting ready to go to bed. The man is hunched over slightly, somewhat irritable. Long day at work. The woman is comforting him gently, says something along the lines of, "You should really try yoga," which just pisses him off more. She eventually just gives up and lays down and goes to sleep. The man sits there for a while. He hears something, and he's been hearing this same thing all day. This strange whispering. He decides that he should at least try and go to sleep. Maybe it'll stop by the morning. He tucks himself in, and a couple of hours later, the two are fast asleep. We see a man standing at the edge of their bed. His movements are smooth, yet a little bit unnaturally so. He strides up to the man, and he leans over, looking closely. You can't see his face from this angle, but you can tell that he's smiling. And suddenly, John wakes up in a bit of a cold sweat. He reaches around and tries to reorient himself. He sits up, wipes his face, and gets ready for the day. You see him put on his signature white jacket and white pants, and he prepares for the company that he's called into his house tonight. That's where you guys come in. I believe he told you to show up at 1800. So what time do your characters show up, do you think?
I show up at 6:45 p.m.
So
very late.
Jay had grabbed Sky and was waiting for Hal, but they pull up about 5 minutes before 6.
All right. Wait, Jay had grabbed what?
Sky, like I picked Sky up, I guess.
Sky.
'Cause, like, I was-
Guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
'Cause,
actually makes more sense considering I live on the fucking edge of town.
right. And I live in the city, so like I could just pick you up on my way.
Oh,
And we were gonna get Hal, and then like, you know,
Hal had other plans.
yeah.
Yeah.
If we were done waiting for him, walked up, and his mom's like, "Oh yeah, he's out for the night. Like he might come back later, but I'll let him know."
okay. Quick minor question. Would you have texted like the in-game forum being like, Hal isn't gonna show up today?
No. At that point, I
Okay.
was just panicking and had to go. So
Then-
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, two of you show up about 5 minutes early, and you show up to a house. And as your
Oh, boy.
suspicions, you have your suspicions confirmed. When you first received this message, you remember that when you were kids, that Heath had a huge crush on John, and John did in fact live in this house. So when you got this address, you really had your suspicions confirmed. John's childhood home. The two of you walk up, and as you walk through the doorway, you see the house is kind of like pristine, like to the point where you kind of feel uncomfortable walking in with your shoes on, even though there's no spot to put shoes in the foyer. And as you walk in, Heath greets you. and waves hello and sort of gestures for you guys to sit down at the table because dinner's almost ready.
I would like to give Heath a hug because we're good friends, right?
Sure.
And that's what good friends do.
All right. He sort of looks at you and she's like, "I'm still making food. That's okay. All right." And sort
It's
of
like
gives you
a
one of
very
those
brief hug,
one-
like, "Oh hi,
yeah,
it's
she
good to
gives you
see
one
you."
of those one-armed hugs and like a little pat
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
back and is like, "Go sit down, please."
Yeah.
Guys more or less just like, yeah, pretty good to see you guys, and then just sort of sits down at the table a little more just like roughly than usual, just like thunk into seat.
Bump.
All right. So the two of you wait around, and
Yo, where the
About-
fuck is Gary?
about 20
Wasn't he supposed to show up tonight?
Can we? I didn't realize it would be that late. Can I resend
It's
my
45
statement?
minutes late.
It'd be like 6:20.
Okay, yeah, 6:20. So about 10 minutes pass, and
Mhm.
Heath finishes up dinner, sets down a big old pot of gumbo on the center of the table, and the smell just absolutely fills the room. And suddenly this kind of cold, pristine looking dining room feels properly homely, as if Heath's very presence has filled it. And you start eating, or rather, Heath gestures
Gosh.
to allow you to start eating. And
This looks delicious, Heath. You really outdid yourself this time.
oh no, stop it! It's fine. It's what I do.
Yeah, well, you do things good, so
She sort of blushes and serves herself up some gumbo.
Better than what I've been eating.
All right. So
what exactly have you been eating, Sky?
Man, sometimes, you hunt stuff, and sometimes you just don't.
So do you just have a handful of dirt?
No. No. Not just dirt.
just accuse
That
your
is so
fellow
out of
player of
character.
eating dirt. Oh.
Guy can subside themselves on dirt alone.
You know,
Just eat
like-
some dirt and photosynthesize.
Sometimes you don't have enough money to get your meats all good, so you just kind of have venison.
Venison is good though.
It is, but unspiced meats aren't. It's just meat.
Yeah.
It's just flesh, my dude.
So, we were supposed to have 2 more tonight, right? I fucking
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Hal.
We were
Uh,
waiting
he just
outside
didn't
his
show
house.
up.
I texted him beforehand and he said we were still all good, but when I got there, we waited for about 20 minutes in his driveway and I went up and spoke with his mom and she said he was out. So I'm not really sure. And by that point we had to, get on the road so we could make it here on time. So
At this point, I feel like you'd see a very frantic, wiry man kind of like sprint up the street with grocery bags in hand.
yes, we can see him through the walls of the home.
No, so in the dining room, I'm assuming there's a window to view the yard, correct?
I feel like if you were paying attention, you could probably see. They could probably see you through the window of the foyer.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's
So-
no window from the dining room.
Gotcha.
Is the dining room at the back of the house?
No, it's you go in through the foyer and then you turn to the right, and then the back of the house is the kitchen. The dining room.
Oh,
is
okay.
all that.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, I slam my hands on the door, bag slipping down to my shoulders, and I just slam on it, just
All right.
Holy fuck.
Heath,
Hey, I guess Gary's here.
Heath stands up from her half-finished meal and walks over to the door and opens it for you. Oh, Gary, you showed up.
Yeah, sorry about being late. And I stumble in to the dining room and give a curt wave while holding my hand above my chest. The bags are still on me, and you all see this very thin friend, scarily thin. His ears have become too large for his face, and it almost makes you like uncomfortable. He has this blonde hair, but it's
Ooh, not
become
the elephant.
so like dry and brittle that it just looks completely uncared for. It's cut in like I don't know what it's called, like a bob around his
Bowl
face.
cut. Bowl cut.
No,
Bowl
he has
cut.
he has
Bowl
Gary.
cut. Bowl cut.
no. He has like the little side things.
So he has an
Um,
Bowl
undercut.
cut, but it's all completely
Yeah.
just lopsided.
um
A bowl cut, but they
Done
use
by
a modern
hand
art
with
bowl.
love.
so and then I kind of like so something smells really good, and then I take out like this large case of 12 Bush beers and a fifth of vodka. I brought these.
He sort of takes them and like
Man,
smiles
for an important.
and then like sets them on the table, and she's like, I guess I could bring out the shot glasses. Does anyone want? I don't.
I'll
I
pass.
I don't
thank
know.
you.
Wasn't it supposed to be like some sort of important meeting or something?
I lean
I
over
mean,
to Sky,
like-
and warm beer is really not good.
She
Yeah.
feels the temperature of it, and she's like, it's not.
It's not-
that
I just-
warm.
I just bought it, guys.
Yeah, but it's been in your arms while you're
Okay.
running. It's not that warm. I mean, like, if you want a beer, I could grab some ice too.
No, thank you. I'm all set. I was like, I
Yeah,
whispered that to Sky too.
I'm already like, is there like a table drink like lemonade or
Crack
something?
and open a lukewarm one with the lads.
No, I open the vodka and make a mixed whatever is available.
No,
And then-
there's just water on the table.
Oh, okay. Then I just get water. And then
Even Gary doesn't drink his own drinks.
I guess, I mean, your choice. I just kind of brought it as like a friend thing, anyways.
No. I appreciate it.
And then I just
so-
like stand, like, okay, I'll.
So you can go ahead and have a seat. I'll go ahead and grab you a bowl. And she walks back into the kitchen.
I sit down like super quickly, and then like sit like slumped, with like no back support at all in the chair. Not
You're
like
right there, buddy.
I'm great, actually. It's so good to see you all again. It's been so long.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was really excited to see you when I moved, but you know, like
I'm really
maybe
sorry
you
about
just didn't get my messages about that, so that's okay.
No, I just thought it would be weird, you know, like I haven't seen you in a while, and you do all this great stuff, you know, gardening and that shit. I just, you know,
Heath
there's no,
walks back in, and she's like, she has been sort of awkwardly overhearing, and she's like, I don't think it would have been that awkward. Like, we're all
No.
friends still. And she
mean,
sets the
Bianca
bowl
put a
down
hole in
front
my
of you.
wall trying to hang a picture, so like that was like the best part of the night.
Yeah, that was certainly an event.
I kind of like get a little like, I don't know, just like even more somber when you
Besides,
talk
like,
about friends.
you know, Misty would have loved to see you again. Misty's my cat, by the way. Out of character.
When I like brighten up, we'll have to organize something again.
Is Misty still alive?
She was a kitten,
I
so
mean,
she's old, but yeah.
but God, you take like you say you have a green thumb, but like you can take care of cats too. Apparently, like that is
Yeah. Well,
Cats can live
you know.
a good deal of time.
Yeah, I guess.
Longer than fish.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Listen, I've gone through quite a few fish.
Also, out of character, like I wouldn't have had Misty super long. She's like about 6 to 7 years old right now.
Oh, I thought you were saying like
No, it wasn't like a childhood pet.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Probably like an end of high school pet.
revoke all of that, I guess.
Wow.
As you talk about
Right on.
as you talk about your several fish, I like look at you like, can you recall the exact amount of fish you've had?
Nah.
Okay, good. I was worried.
Wild salmon
That was
count?
super weird.
Listen, hey, okay, I've never taken a wild salmon. That was a rumor. Nobody proved it.
I'm pretty sure.
Are you neither confirming nor denying me right now? So I'm just gonna assume that you had a wild salmon at some point.
I'm pretty sure we found the grave for it in your backyard at some point.
I'm pretty sure you caught it with your
Absolutely
teeth.
not.
Why would you?
Absolutely
Why
not.
would you
It would
bury
be
a fish?
Because they're huge. Do you know how big salmon get?
Yeah,
They're like
but
a-
if
Yeah,
it
they're real
died,
fucking big.
if it died, you should eat it. It's a salmon.
But if it was
Okay,
a
yeah,
precious
but I did
pet-
not own a wild salmon.
If I
That
mean,
would
Okay,
be-
okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be wild if you owned it,
Myth
right?
myth of my salmon ownership aside, what
Yeah,
are we?
the dinner just conversation comes to an awkward halt for a second, and Heath pipes up. So, is it just safe to assume that Hal's not gonna show up, or if he does, he's gonna be like,
I mean,
like
yeah,
late?
I would just say don't expect him. I'll fill him in on anything that happened. We talk a lot,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
and just suddenly, like,
And
you might, if you were observant, based on Twitter, like you notice like a bracelet,
oh yeah,
a
yeah,
black
yeah.
bracelet
Your
with
little
a yellow and
friendship
white bead
bracelet.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So Heath looks down at her phone for a second and quickly types something out and looks back up, and she's like, "All right, so a lot of stuff has happened since middle school, and just humor him because he's on to something." And like, I
Alright.
apologize.
I raise an eyebrow. This isn't.
No, I get you.
And
This isn't this.
and suddenly you hear from the stairwell a Twitter
A man
notification
falling.
go off, just a little ting, and then like a little bit of shuffling, and then footsteps as a man comes down the stairs. A man dressed all in white, in a white three-piece suit with a white shirt underneath and a white tie.
No.
As well as some white gloves that go up, like very, very skin tight gloves that go up. You're not sure how far. And a full gas mask. And this man walks in and sits down dramatically at the head of the table.
Gary just looks like completely like, are you kidding me? Just like totally like, are you fucking serious? Like,
Jay
Like,
Jay shifts
smile
a little
from-
bit uncomfortably and rubs
Yeah.
his neck.
And as you guys are sort of like awkwardly like, what the fuck is happening here? This man reaches into the lapel of his suit and pulls out clearly something that isn't able to fit into a pocket. He clearly just sort of like shoved it into the side of his suit so that he could pull it out dramatically, and tosses
Done.
a manila folder onto the middle of the table. It sort of slides and bumps into the gumbo awkwardly, and you're just sort of like, oh.
I quickly pick it up and open it and start reading.
Jesus,
Yeah.
you read everything.
I mean, not everything, but I get the, I get the
You-
papers
Why don't you
out.
just fucking like give it a cursory glance, like share with the class, Gary?
I'm not gonna give this shit the time of day. I say as I thumb through the papers.
It's not that many papers. The main ones there are a couple of different articles talking about a couple of murders that happened in town, and you guys have definitely heard about this if you live in
Yeah.
town.
Does
which
it
is-
include the police reports as well?
No, it doesn't have actual police reports,
Also-
but it does have some handwritten notes about like things overheard over police chatter.
Okay.
And a couple of just old pictures of the people involved that were clearly like gathered off of social media sites and stuff like that. There's
Guy's
also
looking.
there's also 4 copies of a little briefing which you skim over.
I pick
but
one. I pick one out of the folder and
as you
I mean,
glance
I
it over,
I hand them out. Like as I find that there's 4 different ones, I'm like, oh, okay, and then I pass begrudgingly. Like I don't look at the papers. I just hand them to like, all right, I guess.
Gary, you fucking dick.
and
No.
so as you guys are looking this over, the custodian speaks up. So, I've gathered you people here today, after all of these years, for a mission. If you recall, when we were children, we fought off the ferocious gator.
When we were children?
Yes?
We were in high school.
No.
Middle
When
school.
we
Oh,
we're not
it was-
supposed to know the custodian, are we?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
are.
are.
You're
We
all,
know
John.
it's John.
You're all pretty fucking sure it's John. In
Well,
fact,
okay.
as you
Also, does
look-
he have a mask on? I need to know this, or is he just talking like?
No, he
I'm
has
He
a
has,
gas
sorry.
mask.
he has like the full like
Okay,
World War
yeah.
II gas
I
mask.
literally
That
just
part
said,
I blinked out. That part I
listen
blinked
to
out.
John.
And also, if you can, the eye plates are pretty clear, and you can see a pair of bright green eyes, which John always had the brightest green eyes that you ever seen in your goddamn life. So you're pretty fucking
Yeah.
sure it's John.
What? Quick question, Matt. When I look at John, just to make sure with my eyes,
Mhm.
is there any? Do I see any of the images I normally see, like focused around him or anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So then I'm just listening to John,
All right.
like just like reading over the papers. Like I went from a big grin to like this nothing face, like total.
In the
like
meantime,
This guy's
Jay-
looking a little more intensely at him. But
Jay takes a picture of the briefing with his phone and sets it aside.
John looks over at sorry, I still don't have your character names down that well. You are Jay. You just said it. So John looks over towards Jay and goes, some of you may be a little more keen on believing what I have to say. But some
Jay
of
feels
you,
slightly called out and shifts uncomfortably.
some of you may not. It's been quite a while, and so I can understand if some of your memories have faded. But we've got another call to action, and
I have to stop you, John. Are you serious? We've grown up now, okay? You can't. I stand. You can't. And I put my hands like on my forehead. You can't keep bringing us back into this, dude. You just can't.
you saying that thing wasn't real? Are you saying that you didn't see that thing
Oh,
that we beat up?
Of course, it wasn't real. Are you all serious?
No, I'm dead serious here. I'm very, very serious, Gary. That thing was real as hell. I'm listening to him because, man, I've got some shit too.
This is fucking horseshit. But if I look at at John now,
You don't remember the school being shut down and like all the pet disappearances?
I remember
Things were dying all over the place. That wasn't just some wolf or something out there. I've seen
Sure as hell
I've seen
wasn't the
wolves that
gas
have.
leak that they tried to say it was.
Yeah.
I just like shake my head like, what makes more sense logically speaking? A dog went mad and killed a bunch of animals, and then I don't know what we trapped, but that thing, it must have just been childish fervor, but that wasn't fucking real. And if you're gonna tell me that it was, then you're crazier than fucking me. I just like, I sit back down, just like, I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, and then after that I'm going to leave.
Gary, there are things in this world that you refuse to understand, despite evidence constantly pointing you in this direction. And I can
As John
understand
says that, I get like Gary looks a little hurt, just like instinctively. Continue though.
I can understand that reaction, because for a while I had it myself when I was very young. But then I grew up, Gary. Then I grew up and realized that the world is a lot darker of a place than it seems. And the world is full of muck that needs to be cleansed, and we've done so once before. So I brought you people here because I know I can trust you with this. Essentially, there's a man named Bruce Kenny, I believe, right?
He's just turning to Heath. He turns to Heath and lifts the mask up.
No, he's not lifting the fucking mask up. I'm just trying to remember.
Just enough so his voice can get out unobstructed. Like, shit, like, I need you.
Please tell me his name. Yes, Bruce Kenny. God fucking damn it. Sorry. There's a man named Bruce Kenny who has gone missing after the gruesome murder of his 2 children. You've heard about this, correct?
Yeah.
Vaguely, I heard about it on the way to work one morning, but I didn't really get the whole story.
I have reason to believe that while it wasn't a resurgence of the gator, it was a resurgence of a creature that needs to be cleansed. A creature that needs to be burned from this earth, and I don't have the manpower to do it. I have a very serious illness that prevents me from staying outside for too long. It prevents me from breathing properly. It prevents me from a lot of things, and Heath here has been a lot of help. But I can't keep sending Heath into danger alone. So I need more. And I know that you can do this. I need you to investigate this. I need you to find the source of what killed those children, and I need it to be cleansed.
So, you keep talking about this creature. What do you think it is? Like,
Do we have any leads?
You know, I'm pretty well traveled, and like I've heard a lot of myths and legends from all over. But like, what would specifically target like these 2 children? Like,
I don't know, but I do know that I was able to get some photos of a crime scene, and I didn't put it in the folder because they're very unpleasant, to be frank, but and he pulls out his phone and skims through it for a minute, and then before turning the screen around says, "If you have a weak stomach for this thing, I would suggest you brace yourself." And he flips the phone around, and you see the body of 2 children, 6 and 8 years old, a boy and a girl respectively, and their entire head from the neck up is shredded to bits, strewn across the living room floor of this apartment. You can see in the background some cleanup crews attempting to wipe down the scene in the subsequent pictures, and a couple of just like general crime scene photos. But it's a very, very unpleasant image.
I like Gary kind of like lurches for a minute, like you just want to fucking show us pictures of fucking shredded kids and tell us there's a monster out there?
You think a person did that?
yeah, there's
You
no
think
way.
a person did that?
Matt, does it look like it could have been from a shotgun?
God, no, not at all. It looks to you kind of like someone took a potato
Like a paper
peeler
shredder?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
and like went over, or like a lemon zester, and went over their head over and over and over again with inhuman force until their entire head, skull, brain matter, all of that has been scattered throughout the room.
And just sort of ribboned everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a picture is a lot more brutal than I imagined. Like Gary Lurch is like twice.
I imagine, like, out of character, he would revise a statement to be like, this is obviously fake. Like, stop fucking with us.
No. He
Oh,
he
you do
can't-
think he?
No, he can't say it's fake. Like, how can you prove it's fake?
Right.
So he just kind of, as like, I'm like, I would like have run up and like looked at the phone closer, and like when I see it's this brutal, I give the phone back to John, and I'm like, and then I just kind of like stand like, man, you were there for me when I need it, and I like put my finger on his chest, and I'm gonna be here for you now, but don't you fucking dare lead me wrong.
John looks back up at you and nods. And then
Alright.
Heath speaks up and she says, I've been dealing with incidents somewhat similar to this for a couple of years now. Ever since the custodian called me in and
Can we-
I started sort of taking care of this household. I've also been trying to investigate this sort of thing, and this isn't the worst that I've seen, but I can't handle this sort of thing on my own anymore. I have enough work back here doing the research and taking care of, and she gestures toward him, the custodian.
I kind of like slump against the wall before you go into the kitchen. I'm like, no, I get it.
So we sent out a message to, well, all of you, all of the kids that dealt with the gator way back then. We just need your help.
So, are we talking paranatural things? Things that, you wouldn't believe exist? These kind of things? Or is it just,
She looks at you and goes, and she sort of like bites her tongue for a second because she doesn't want to say too much. I get what you're getting at.
Wait,
but
hang
a
on.
lot
Out of
these-
character, who knows about
they know.
me as
They
like my state?
definitely know. The two of
Even
them.
though
You
like
keep it
I
a
may
guarded
not.
secret.
Were you asking like?
The fucking Shinji's character is the monstrous of this campaign. So they have a hidden monstrous identity. So essentially the two, the custodian and Heath definitely know.
Even though I may not have told anyone anything.
Yes, you did not tell them. They just
Okay.
So she looks at you and she's like, I get what you're getting at, but the sort of things that you're thinking of, for the most part, are benign. We sort of consider them neutral territory. However, there is a darkness that just propagates. It comes in waves, and it's exhausting and relentless and dark. And she sort of like covers her mouth for a moment, just sort of thinking of how to approach this. And well, I'm just saying that it's not the sort of things that you think it would be. It's not the sort of things that you've read of in myths, at least not entirely. Some of them are, but for the most part, those are the outliers. This particular case is from a place that we still don't understand, but we're trying to. And I would very much like to devote all of my energy into just researching it and trying to figure it out, instead of having to actively hunt down its byproducts. And that's where you guys would come in. And John speaks up again, and he goes,
I would like to formally invite all of you to a group I'm calling the Street Sweepers. A group of hunters that sole mission is to destroy everything that this source creates. It created the gator all those years ago. It created countless things before, and it's been speeding up as of recently. And I just need your help.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
trust
on.
you, sweet sweepers. You're my only hope.
I exhaustedly like rub my head and like take down my backpack, and then like Gary pulls out like a pen and pencil and is like, do we know where the family is?
yeah, Heath gives you an address. It's a couple of blocks away, down in the heart of the suburbs.
Is there a real address?
No,
Oh, okay.
Prentice is not a real town, so there's not a real address.
I know there's not a real address, but did you make a fake real one?
No, I didn't, because I fucking only have so much.
1446 Oak Street.
Yep.
There
You
you go.
happy now?
1446 Oak Street.
That's a real address that I had to ship to at work today.
You just doxed those people. Got them.
I didn't say the city or state or
Or
like
zip code.
yeah, exactly.
All right, that's fair. And there's been no history of violence toward these children in the past.
Heath shakes her head. No, Bruce has always been a nice man. I've met him a couple of times, and
Did-
sort of barbecues and general socialization.
What was the family's connection to our middle school? I cross my legs as I say that. Was there any?
I believe the children were slated to go there. I think
Mm.
Bruce might have
Don't-
gone there at some point. Heather's from out of town.
I don't necessarily think there may be a connection with the school. It could just be
Yeah.
random.
No, I
It's
understand. I get it, Jay. I'm just, cutting leads.
It's a good thought, but the
I'm pretty
string
sure-
of pet murders was really random, and I don't think it's necessarily targeting anyone as of yet. And we don't understand what this source is, like Heath was saying, and like we don't know if the source itself like is directing these things, or if they just have their own free will and do what they want.
This source, have we ever found anything, Matt? Like a gate or nothing?
No. Back with the gator, you just sort of
Found it in the fish tank.
You just sort of, well, it wasn't in the fish tank. The fish tank was just filled with blood. But like you found this creature, and those of you that were a little more skeptical maybe didn't get as good a look at it as you were just sort of like leading it to the reservoir. But you just led it away, and then John said that John had grabbed his dad's shotgun, and you guys never heard from the gator again, so you just assumed that he killed it.
So, is the gator gone?
Yes, you've never
Okay.
heard of any incidents, anything that would like
So-
point
I add,
to it
like-
not being gone.
So, Mr. Custodian, I assume you've been around. The gator that we handled, like, is it officially, like, have you investigated, like, where we led it to? Is it like dead, or is it just still there?
It's not the same creature at all. That creature's been cleansed long ago.
Okay. I wasn't asking if it was the same one. There's no way that thing could have done what this thing did. Just only the heads. nothing else. That's not how it's not how the gator.
No, it's not. It's something different, and it's always something different every
So
time, and it's always
so
horrible.
when I go over the notes, is it always horrible ways of dying?
I'd say yeah, at least for one of them.
These
It's
things are animals. Like they may have like some sort of calculated sense, but they're just savage.
Mhm.
For the most part, they're just killing.
Gotcha.
Heath pipes up. I think I'm going to, no offense, Mr. Custodian, I think I'm gonna ask that we put the kibosh on this particular talk for right now and finish our gumbo, because I really don't want to think about those poor Kenny kids anymore right now.
I agree with Heath.
All
Me
right.
too. And I go
The
back.
custodian nods and stands up and walks back upstairs.
All right, bye, John.
Can I? I'm gonna get up and excuse. I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom. It's down the hall, right?
Yeah. No, it's the layout hasn't changed. It's just the furnishings.
All right. And like I verily like I as quietly as I can follow the custodian upstairs.
Oh shit! All right. I think that would probably be an act under pressure roll.
Yeah, I would say.
So go ahead and give me one of those.
So I just roll a 6 and then add my
You
cool
roll
modifier.
2d6 and add your plus cool.
Okay.
While we walk.
It got a 5 and a 4 plus 1 is 10.
Okay, a 10 total? Yeah, okay. So you're able to very quietly follow the custodian back up, and you see him. You walk up the stairs, and you see that the railing of the stairs has been artificially extended all the way down this hallway, and he's you see him and you sort of duck down so that the stairs are hiding most of your head, and you see him just sort of leaning, gasping for breath, and on the railing in front of his room, or his childhood room. And you see him sit there for a minute and pull the gas mask off and shake his head, and you can see for the first time his mouse brown sort of shoulder length hair, and he pushes it back and then walks into his room and shuts the door behind him.
I'm gonna make my way down the hallway and knock on the door.
You hear from the other side of the door, I told you, just not until they're gone.
John, it's Jay. I'm trying to like keep my voice down so people downstairs don't hear.
You hear you hear the sound of some metal crashing, and you hear him go, "Oh Jesus fuck!" And then you hear the rest of you see Heath look down at her phone suddenly and go, "God fucking damn it!" and turn around and stand up and walk up the stairs, and tap you on the shoulder, Jay, and goes, "You're not supposed to be up here. The bathroom's downstairs."
Oh, sorry. I guess I got lost.
Yeah.
And I look at Heath and like I give her kind of like a side eye as I'm like turning like towards the stairs again, and oh God, I just wanted to ask him something if I didn't really want the others to hear about either. Because as you know, like I travel a lot and I've seen some things, and
she sighs and she's like, "Once the other two leave, you can talk to me, but he's needs rest, and you guys are seeing you guys is pretty far from rest for him.
Alright, I understand. And then
Can I do something?
I
while
walk into the bathroom upstairs and flush the toilet and then head down the stairs after washing my hands.
All right.
Once everybody is upstairs, I'm gonna
Sky
turn
is
to...
still on the fucking.
No, I know. I'm gonna turn to Sky and be like, "Hey, don't freak out. Can I use magic to observe the crime scene?"
The
What
fuck?
do you mean use magic?
One
to
of the-
observe
Oh,
the
are you? Wait, you're saying this to Matt, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
So
because that like
right, I know.
was like
So-
my
Turn to
character doesn't
Sky.
know anything about that.
So one of the things you can do with use magic is you can observe another place or time. And so can I just like look
Oh,
at the crime
yeah,
scene
totally.
real quick? Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So yeah, roll plus weird.
So yeah, I get in this like a 3-point stance with one hand to my side and then another on the ground, and then I close my eyes. And you see this. Is there a visual component to just use magic?
It sort of depends. But with you, I imagine just like it's not that people see something, but you kind of anyone around you sort of feels this. It feels
Kind of like static electricity.
No, it feels kind
okay.
of like when you get too much dirt on your hands and you rub them together, that sort of like grainy feel, but like
Yeah.
all over your skin.
Also, as you look closer, there is still like there's like this small white that you feel like when you like let your eyes just kind of laze and not focus, that appears. When you look at me as I'm on the ground, it looks similar. Like your eyes just can't focus as this mist appears. I rolled a 9
A 9. So
for use magic. So that's a glitch, I think. Hold on, let me check.
That is a glitch. I get to decide what effect the glitch has. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So you can see suddenly you suddenly feel like you're standing in this household. It's dark by now, but there's still a couple of police officers taking down notes and looking around, putting some things in different bags, and most of the viscera has been cleaned up by now. And
Would-
as you look
Oh.
around, you see just some tape outlines on the carpet, some nothing that useful specifically. And as you start to walk upstairs, you feel a presence sense you.
I fucking look at it with my sight, my cool eyes.
Your cool
What-
eyes.
When you can see the invisible, especially spirits and magical influences, you can
don't
maybe
see anything. It doesn't seem invisible. It just seems to be aware that you're there. And then you hear a whispering, ever so soft, into your ears, as if it's right up against you, and you can't understand what it's saying, even though it's so close. And I need you to roll plus cool.
As I hear this, I hunch down in the vision and in real life, cover my ears, and just start like screaming and crying. All right, so I need to roll cool,
Yes.
That's so uncool. Screaming and crying.
right? So I get to mark experience because that's a 5.
Oh, hey.
So I'm just gonna go down here and just think. All right, I got that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you hear this whispering, and you suddenly feel yourself snap back into your body. And then and Sky, you see him like this magic happen, and then you see him like start to cover his ears and start crying, and then you see him suddenly go completely straight up and start walking out the house.
Can I do anything?
No.
Can I just
Can I like
Okay.
grab his shoulder real quick?
Yeah, you
Like
are,
at first I'm just like, hey, you going some what?
Gary, you feel something inside you say for you, "Oh no, I'm fine. I'm just going."
Inside myself, I'm dying. I'm just freaking the fuck out. Matt,
Yeah.
can I can I try to just cry? Like, can I force out tears? Like, as this thing's like, oh yeah, it's cool. Can I just start crying?
I'm still gonna I'm
yeah,
gonna
go ahead
like
and roll me another act under pressure.
Okay, cool. Bitch, that is a 13.
All right. So as he says this, you can just see tears start streaming down his face.
I'm yelling for the people upstairs.
Yeah,
I'm yelling for like
Do I see
like,
this as I'm walking
Jay,
downstairs?
Heath, some weird shit is going on down here.
All right.
And I'm like, I'm gonna grab him.
All right. So,
And I'm like, I'm just like, can I have like brought my cool hunting knife in, but I'm not like using it on him. I'm just like ready to use it because I know something weird's going.
First of all, do you really
Or can
think
I not
you would
have
just
done that?
bring your hunting knife to a
Sky
childhood
totally would just
reunion?
fucking-
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like
Like,
I've witnessed something tear my friend apart.
if that's
I
if that's the case, then yeah, sure.
Like I'm not grabbing it, but I'm ready, and I'm like gonna try grabbing his arm with one hand. Is there a roll
you
for
haven't,
this,
you
or
haven't
No,
pulled it out of your.
you're
out of your-
able to
No.
just sort of hold him there for a minute as
Okay.
Heath races back down the stairs.
I'm not very physically impressive. It's not hard. Like you grab a hold of me and you like immediately feel like there's no muscle. It's just bones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sky is pretty fucking ripped too. So like, it's not.
yeah?
It's not much
Yes.
of a contest.
Right. And the whole time just like fat gibbly tears down my face.
Yeah. So this continues for a minute, and Heath helps you and grabs the other side of him and like forces him down onto the couch, and she's like, "Hey, Gary, what's wrong?" And you look up at her and go, "Nothing. I'm fine. I'm just trying to go home." And in a like surprisingly convincing tone, if it weren't for the tears streaming down his face.
Man, okay. This guy, like, Gary was just doing some weird shit. He fell to the ground, looked like he was gonna start screaming, and then just stood up straight and started walking and was like, "I'm fine," and then starts crying. Something's not right here.
Yeah, no, it's not. Okay, I'm about to do some weird shit. Just
Both of you are doing weird shit. Oh my god.
no, just bear with me. I actually know what I'm doing, kind of. And she.
I hope you do, because I don't want another person just walking up to the door and starting to cry.
While
in
you're
the
still
meantime,
talking,
like Jay like takes Heath's position and like holds Gary down.
All right. Heath steps back for a second and goes into a little bit of a prayer stance. You can see her hands pushed together and her head down for a moment. And then you see some faint lights go around her, and suddenly around her hand there's this shape that keeps constantly shifting, just these different little geometric angles made of this greenish light that's fading back and forth, and she sets it on your head, and for a moment nothing happens, and then suddenly, Gary, you start screaming because you're able to scream again.
So much. I
Sky just kind of jumps back, like,
I roll on the
like-
floor and just like, you know how when you like cry so hard, like you like cough up like a huge amount of saliva, like
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
on the ground, like just still like no.
He sort of pats you and goes, "Hey, you're gonna be okay. We're all good here. We're
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
She looks
Jay,
up at you
like-
and she's like, "I'm."
Fumbles in his pockets for like a handkerchief and offers it to Gary.
You give it to me like dry and like crinkled. It comes back like a washcloth.
Just hold on to that. Just hold on to that. You'll need it more than I do.
Not much snot, just like a lot of tears.
Just that's yours now, okay? Just
Uh,
hold that.
I after like like 2 or like 3 minutes, I like collect myself and I like stand. I just wanted to be helpful,
Heath
I
goes,
just-
"You know what? You did. Just tell us what happened. And if you can tell us what happened, we'll have another hint as to what is happening."
So I like touch my chest and I'm like, you know what is in here, and I like point to my heart, and you know what I can do with it.
I
Some
mean,
organs?
There's no need to be dramatic, but yeah, I know that you can cast magic.
So I tried, as we do, and I like kind of like do like the me and you thing. I just wanted to look at the scene, and it worked. I saw the officers, I saw the house, I was there. And as well, I can see them. I can see it. I can see all of them. I can see everything. And I couldn't see this thing. But it could see and feel me.
Hey, calm down. We're okay.
And
okay. We're back in the house. There's nothing here.
I wouldn't
Actually,
say nothing.
as we do that, can I use magic again? Instinctively.
What?
I
no,
just
what
wanna-
What are you doing? Like,
I wanna-
This is
I
not
wanna
the type
w-
of game where you're like, I would like to use magic. It's more of, I would like to
I-
do
I-
this thing, and if it's a roll, then I'll tell you it's a roll.
I wanna bar this place from entities like that got inside of me.
Okay.
If I can.
So
Bar a place to a specific person or creature.
okay, but you don't know what the creature is.
Right. So
Just
can
the
I-
general feeling that you had.
Right.
You just don't want
you
that.
You can try.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
so
roll plus,
like
plus.
so just
magic. Roll
just
me
as
to
I'm
use magic.
talking to her, though, this glow appears around me again. Like I'm not even trying now. Okay. That is 11.
11. That is a huge success. So yes.
Yeah.
Suddenly again you guys feel well, this time Heath and Jay feel it as well. This like griminess come over them.
I just want it gone.
and,
I just want it gone.
and then she's like, it's okay. It's okay. There are already wards on this house, like, to keep things from, well, I mean, I guess some of them are down right now. And she takes a little sideways glance at Jay and goes, but we're safe here.
I stopped after that. After I feel the magic happen again, I just stopped talking.
So, out of character thing, does Sky like know that you guys have magic shit?
Sky
She
Aside
wouldn't
from
definitely
right now
saw,
learning.
Sky definitely saw Heath's hands glow after and then touch Gary in the forehead. And
No,
also
I
felt
know.
all like the grimy shit.
I'm talking about like prior to this moment.
I don't.
I would have told everyone as soon as